Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. It's another episode in the Meet the CEO series. Right now, it's members only. All our very sensitive, very powerful, direct live streams are members only. It will be available to general subscribers later on, but right now we are members only. So if you want to catch these breaking stories, news, exclusive interviews, become a member. It's a couple of bucks a month. That's all it is. It just keeps the bots and the trolls out. But today we're talking about Mobix Labs, ticker symbol MOBX, Mobix Labs. We've had the CEO on the show a couple of times, Fabrizio, but we're going to find out today that Mobix has a new CEO. You may remember Fabrizio wasn't very well, and all our love went out to him. He was a great guest on the show. You all loved him. Maybe we might learn what happened there, but we've got the new CEO on the show. That's Phil. He goes by the name of Phil, and he's with me today. He's very excited to share with you information on Mobix Labs. It's a very important day as well. So let me get ready to bring him on. But before I do, I want everyone to tap the like button. If you all tap the like button, share this out to as many people as possible. If you're watching later, of course, you can still do so, and consider subscribing and becoming a member of the family. Now, remember what the purpose of this is. I only own the S&P and currently some Bitcoin and XRP to give away as prizes, but I don't pump and dump stock. I only own the S&P really as my only stock. So it doesn't make a difference to me whether the stock goes up, down, left or sideways. However, I love to bring great stories, great businesses to people, and I want this business to do well. And I hope all of my investors, nearly 100,000 of you, love this stock and you follow this stock. And we saw that because when we announced the event, up went the stock. You can see that literally on the screen, and we hope it continues and everybody at Mobix does really well. So I have some statements to read to you first that just been sent to me. So this is very timely information. Before I do though, let me just recap what Mobix is. Many of you may have never heard of Mobix Labs. Mobix Labs operates as a semiconductor company. It develops wireless and connected solutions that are designed to cater to a broad range of applications in markets including 5G infrastructure, satellite communications, automotive, consumer electronics and e-mobility, healthcare, infrastructure and defense. These are sectors that we love on this show. Of course, we love NVIDIA, we love the whole AI. And did you know when you walk through the airport and you put your hands up in the air, that's Mobix Labs. 5G technology with data today and AI being at the forefront of our investment strategy. How do you move that data? You need 5G, and that's where Mobix Labs comes in. Very important stock, this one. We do like it. The company was founded on July the 31st, 2020, quite new, and is headquartered in Irvine, California. The listed name is MOBX, Mobix. And today, as you can see, we have a new CEO, Phil Sansone. We call him Phil, and there it is. You know the size of the business. I brought this to you before, but just as a little bit of an insight for those who've not seen it before, but you will like this next page. Insiders are buying the stock. Always good when a CEO comes on the show to show that the company are buying. Can you imagine if it was the other way? I'd still share it, but then I'd ask them to explain it because we have to be truthful about it, right? But there it is. So let me bring you this breaking news that opened this morning and why we have the CEO Phil on the show today. Mobix Labs transitions Phil Sansone to permanent CEO post. Mobix Labs said that Phil Sansone will officially become CEO effectively July the 25th. 2 days, you're getting the breaking news here, world exclusive, after serving the interim post since April. We were aware of that. We brought that to you when Fabrizio and Fabian could not be on the show. Again, this was the reason why. Meanwhile, co-founder and current CEO Fabian Battaglia is retiring from the CEO role, but will remain with the company as a senior strategic advisor to the CEO and board of directors. We're very happy to hear that because we know that Fabian wasn't well, but he obviously is well enough because he's still with the company. So we wish you the very, very best, Fabian, and your family. I really did enjoy our conversations. Phil Sansone brings over 30 years of operational leadership in the semiconductor industry. We like that, including executive roles at Microsemi, Max Linear, and Avnet. I apologize. He joined Mobix in October 21, so he's been there for a while, as VP of Sales, and was instrumental in accelerating Mobix customer acquisition and expanding target markets. We like the fact he was from sales, because at the end of the day, businesses are about selling it, getting it done, delivering it. So this is the man to do that, obviously. Right, so are we ready to bring him on the show? Well, I have this statement here, which is essentially what I've just said. I'm not going to read all this out, but this was sent to me earlier, just an hour or so ago, and this essentially tells you about the CEO change in this information. I'm pausing it on the screen now, so if you want to, you can pause this, but I'm not going to read this all through, because mainly I've just covered the headlines, and Phil will fill us in with all the blanks. But if you would like to pause it, I will just read this. I'm honoured to take the helm as CEO of Mobix Labs. At this pivotal moment, says Phil, Chief Executive Officer, we have extraordinary technology, world-class talent, and a clear vision. As we enter our next phase, I'm committed to delivering transformative solutions to our customers and exceptional value to our shareholders. We like to hear that. The leadership transition underscores Mobix's commitment to long-term innovation, growth, and operational excellence as the company continues to scale across key markets. One final point, and then I'll bring Phil on the show. Phil Sansone brings over 30 years of global sales and executive management experience within the semiconductor industry. Previously, Sansone held senior roles at Microsemi, Max Linear, and spent nearly 2 decades at Avnet, ultimately serving as Senior Vice President of North American Sales and Engineering. He was instrumental in driving market share gains and improving operational performance. Sansone's proven leadership in global distribution, strategic partnerships, and revenue growth strongly supports Mobix's continuing success in dynamic, high-demand markets. Since joining Mobix Labs in October 21 as Vice President of Sales, Sansone has notably expanded the company's footprint in the military, defense, and aerospace sectors. We like this. Securing key orders for technologies utilized in critical U.S. military and defense platforms. Okay, let me go back to my screen here. I have to do my little face thing on the screen to get the security. And there it is. So without further ado, have you all tapped the like button? Do you like it so far? I would say you would, right? Very positive. And consider subscribing as well. We will open this up to comments and subscribers later on in the show. But right now, we're going to welcome onto the show for the very first time, Phil. It's lovely to have him here. So would you please give a lovely warm welcome and welcome to the show, Phil, CEO of Mobix. Good afternoon, Phil. How are you?
I'm great, Martin. How are you?
I am very well indeed.
Thanks for that nice introduction there. Thank you very much.
Did I do a good job? Did I sell it? Did I make it sound good?
You did good.
I just read the information that is publicly available, that everybody knows, and it's great. It's all good news. So, first of all, this show is all about the real people behind the story. We have just coming up to 100,000 subscribers. Many of them follow you. Many of them love what you do. So the first thing we want to do, are you able to tell us anything about dear Fabian? He was unable to continue.
Yes, I spoke to Fabian recently. He's doing well. I think he was being very cautious with his health and chose to step down, and it's very amicable. And again, I think it's in the best interest of him to reduce his stress and make sure that he's healthy, and he's doing well. He was smiling quite a bit when I saw him a couple of weeks ago.
Thank you. So. And clearly he's still with the company. And obviously he put the business first. He realized somebody else should take over and that would be best for the company. So all respect to Fabian. We did like him on the show. So there we go. So if you're watching Fabian, thank you. I'm glad you're getting well. And thank you for doing the right thing for the shareholders. It sounds like it was the right thing to do. So now to you, Phil. You're the new man at the top. We did give a brief introduction introduction to you, but people here like to invest in you, because at the end of the day, you know, the technology is wonderful, but if you're rubbish and you don't know what you're doing and spend all the time down the pub, don't work out very well. So Phil, tell me a bit about you and fill in the blanks with your history and your experience, please.
Yes, I started in the business in the 1980s, in the semiconductor business, and I've really enjoyed to watch the technology evolve to what it is today, and it's going to continue to evolve. I actually started my career back on the East Coast in New York, where I'm originally from, and then got an opportunity to move out to the West Coast in 1993 to join a company called MEMIC, which was later acquired by Avnet. And I ultimately led sales and engineering teams there. Joined Avnet and really enjoyed that experience. And then ended up running worldwide distribution for a company called Microsemi. As you probably remember from the past, there's quite a bit of Microsemi legacy here at Mobix Labs. Our board has got a couple of members from the management team there. Our executive chairman, Jim Peterson, was the former chairman and CEO of Microsemi. So we've got a pretty good heritage on that. And so I joined Mobix back in September of 2021, so going on 4 years, leading worldwide sales. And it's been a great experience so far. Admittedly, being in a startup is not every day is roses, but it's been a great experience, and things are really moving in the right direction for us.
Thank you very much. Great. So you come with experience, knowledge, also in the sales, and you've been around the company for a while. So sounds very positive to me. Thank you very much indeed. So what do you bring now as the CEO? I know you've got lots of news to share with us and things that have happened and all the rest of it. But what can you bring to the table to take Mobix forward, to take it from where it is right now? I don't think it deserves to be a penny stock, quite frankly. We want to see it, you know, way above $5. What can you bring to the business?
Well, I think a couple of things, Martin. Thanks for asking. I mean, number one, I think I have a pretty strong acumen on the P&L side of things. I've managed the P&L for many years in the business, and so I really understand the need to manage cost effectively, and where to put your investments, where the opportunity to get that return on investment really is, right? So I think that discipline is very important for us, as well as I've got a lot of relationships on the sales side that I think can help expand our channels and our business, not only in the Americas, but beyond into Europe and Asia Pac. So again, discipline on the P&L side of things, and the ability to understand how to grow the company utilizing internal and external resources.
We live in a world now of, I'm going to come on to in a moment, I know you've got lots of information to share with us, mergers and acquisitions, that's what you are all about, building relationships. But we live in a world now where AI, crypto, technology, all this kind of stuff is the future. We've now seen government policy, crypto's being put in law, and AI has been focused on, and America wants to lead all of that. And there's huge opportunity going forward. Now, data needs a way to transmit that data, and that's where you come in. So the question that a lot of people would be asking, a lot of retail investors watch our channel and they know about the big names. They know about the NVIDIAs and the Googles and all these companies that use AI. So everybody would love to hear if there was ever a time when you could say, yes, we have got, or we are in conversation with, or we do something with any of these big names that people recognize. Is there anything there that you might be able to share with people?
Well, I think the AI, artificial intelligence theme has been discussed, and it's very, very popular these days. We use AI in our development of our wireless products, right? So I think ultimately you'll see us partnering with companies on the communication side, but also when you mentioned earlier, we have we provide the technology for the airport security systems. There's a lot of artificial intelligence that's used in that today, And as that develops into better solutions and next generation, I think you'll see more indications of AI. All really designed around being able to make in that application, making the passenger experience at the security line a lot better. And that will be, you'll see a lot more of AI integrated into that process as we develop new solutions.
So, you mentioned in my introduction, I mentioned about military and defense. That's a big story right now. A lot of people are concerned about that, the insecurities in the world and all the rest of it. And I'm showing on the screen right now, I wanted to put this on. We're seeing an image here of a tank and all the rest of it. What's your connection here? Because a lot of our investors love this space. We're showing here a military, we're showing AI. So tell me, defense, we've got planes here, we got all kind of things. Please tell me what your connection is there and how your technology can work with those sectors.
Yes. So I think when you read the introduction that we provided you talked about the markets that we are connected to, the end customer markets. And I think we talked about infrastructure and communications and medical. And the last thing we had on there was defense. And I think we're going to change that. Defense really needs to be right now the first market that we mentioned that we target and that we're having success in. We have two product lines today, both which play into the military. Our interconnect business is really almost 100% tied to the military, defense, and aerospace applications. Right in that space, we really make sure that our customers can create the most optimal solution without what they call EMI interference, electromagnetic interference. So our products, our connector products, actually can fix that problem by reducing the EMI or the interference in a system by using our technology. So when they experience in their design that they are having a problem with the magnetic interference, they come to us and we can provide a customized solution to fix that problem. And that's with our connector business, where we think we have the best lead time in the industry. We have the best quality, and we also believe that we can be very competitive and provide a customized solution to fix the customer's problem very quickly. And we're seeing applications there where we've had success in many types of different military applications. I think Fabian has probably mentioned some of them in the past. We're in the Javelin missile, the Tomahawk, the Standard Missile 6 programs we're playing in. We're in the Abrams tank, which I think you pointed out on the website there. We're in Gulfstream with the jets and multiple other types of programs. So we're really entrenched in the military. And as the wireless business develops, I think you're going to see more and more of our wireless business being played into the defense and military business.
What current partners do you have? So who are your customers currently, and what's coming up next? We'll come on to what's coming up next, but in a minute. But who is your current partners?
So I'm a little hesitant to name specific names, but okay. From the military on the connector side, it's basically any tier 1 defense contractor that you can think of. So they're obvious. We sell directly to the tier 1s. I'll mention, as an example, BAE is one of our customers, and you can look to see others that are in that space that are defining those programs that I mentioned. We sell directly to the tier 1s as well as to the subcontractors who build for the tier 1s. On the wireless side, we're partnering with customers who build the equipment for airport security, as well as major railway companies that we are working with very closely, as well as different government programs that we're participating in and in the process of bidding on.
Very interesting. Thank you very much, Phil. So what comes next? What are you working on now? I know today you wanted to come on and share the latest news and latest acquisitions. Your colleague who contacted me to arrange this said we were eager to share the news. So to tell us what's new since we last had Fabian on the show.
Well, the most recent activity, Martin, is we put in an offer on a company, Peraso, Peraso. They're a company that develops wireless chips and modules.
Right. I think I've heard of them.
Focused on their millimeter wave products, focused on the 60 gigahertz spectrum, bandwidth in that spectrum. And they're a very exciting potential opportunity for us. We really see it as a very synergistic product line that could fit into our existing wireless business, which we had acquired through our acquisition of Rage Systems. They're based back in Lowell, Massachusetts. So we see this opportunity with Peraso as an extension of our millimeter wave wireless product offering. Where they're seeing success, and I can only speak to what they've talked about publicly. There's a thing called fixed wireless access. We're out in the rural communities, rather than companies having to lay out fiber to get that connectivity. They do it all wirelessly through fixed wireless access, as well as so they work with the wireless internet service providers, and they go out and install the fixed wireless access. A lot of that is done with their technology. And the other thing that we also see it as an opportunity to increase our defense and military business, because of the fact that the 60 gigahertz spectrum is unlicensed, which means there will not be interference with other spectrums which are licensed. So it creates a good sense of security for the military space to use that spectrum. So we see that as an opportunity to grow our military business and win designs in the military. Which again, it's worth mentioning that, and I think most people are aware of the news. The United States military budget is growing. It's expected to grow 14%, and the budget proposal for next year takes it to almost $1 trillion. So that's a market we want to be playing in, and so you look at that, and then you look at the news that the NATO countries have agreed to increase their spending over time to 5% of their GDP, which today it's below 2%. So if you look at the potential upside of the NATO countries spending 5% on GDP, the defense military space is the place to be right now. So that's one acquisition that we recently announced that we put an offer on. And then several months back, we had put in an offer to acquire a company, Spacecraft. They're a private company that really plays well in the connectivity business, the connector business. And it would be there. We're hoping to close that this year, before the end of the year. We're working with them to move that process along. That would really just continue to expand our business in the military. About 30 to 40% of their business is directly with military contractors. The other thing is another 30 to 40% of their business is in the rail space, so the rail transportation space. So those are markets we're already playing in, so we view that as a great opportunity to increase not only revenue, but our product offering in markets that we really want to target.
That's some great information. I can see the chat has opened up. People are coming in asking some great questions now. In a moment, we will go to comments and questions to Phil. This is a completely unedited, unscripted live show. Phil doesn't know what I'm going to ask him. He doesn't know what you're going to ask him. And please understand, a lot of retail investors when's the stock price going to go to $10 and blah, 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 blah. You can ask questions like, well, you can ask him, but he won't be able to answer it for you. So don't bother. But if you've got questions for Phil, please feel free now to drop them in the chat and I will put them to Phil in a few moments. But so where do we see the company 6 months from now and a year from now? Because we are still in the penny stock category, $1.15 right now. How well funded are you? Do you need to go to the shareholder? Do you need to dilute? Are we okay? Are we funded? Where's the future for the business from the financial standpoint?
Yes, that's a good question. So again, I think we have access to funding, okay, and strategically we're looking at that and as non-dilutive as possible to help with our acquisition strategy. So when you look at a company our size, the first question I get is where are you going to come up with the funding? And we have commitments to get funding. Don't want to go into the details here, but we have commitments to support the activity that we've put out publicly to make those acquisitions. And so, yes, we expect that to really be helpful to us as we expand the business, which again, those acquisitions will give us scale. And scale, economies of scale are very important when you're a startup to be able to grow the business top line, which really will help the bottom line, right?
Yeah.
If you can drive that scale and manage it properly, back to the earlier point I made about P&L management, you can become, cash flow break even and positive cash flow, and but you need scale to do that. And so, we've had a good year in our fiscal. We're in fiscal Q4 of 25, and we're run rating to grow about 55% over last year, but we still need more scale.
That was going to be my next question. Where's the growth, and what catalyst? What needs to happen? So you as a CEO, if I'm the CEO of me, which I'm the CEO of this show, I know exactly what I have to do to grow my business, and it's what I do, and we're doubling our rate of growth every month. You'd be quite impressed with that, Phil, from 0 to nearly 100,000 subscribers in a few years. So as a CEO, you're in charge of Mobix, you're in charge of all our investors' investments. What do you need to do? What do we need to see happen over the next year or two to take this business and accelerate its growth?
Well, first thing we need to do is manage our internal business and maximize the return we get on that, right? We're seeing tremendous opportunity, as I've said, in the military defense space. And so we need to fund the internal businesses that can accelerate that growth and really understand how to utilize additional resources, external channel partners to help us reach more customers so that we can grow the business, right? So that is really the most important thing, is to support the internal business and drive the growth by putting your resources in the right place and getting customer exposure. Once we get the customer exposure, we tend to win, right? So we've got to continue to expand that and that expansion really is with external resources. So it's not adding to our fixed costs necessarily. It's external resources that they get paid when they sell something, right? So that's one way. And then the second thing is, and this is extremely important, is when we do close on these acquisitions, is that we integrate them properly and maximize the return that we're going to get from those efforts, right? And that's across multiple different aspects of the business: the finance side, the sales side, the marketing side, the engineering side, but integrating businesses so that everyone that comes on board understands what our go-to-market strategy is and gets on board and supports it. Right. So integrating companies is important.
Great. So you have the solutions, you have the technology. The main task, a challenge now, is to get to the customer, get it out to them. Which is why we're here. Why you're on the show, right?
Right. Exactly,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Brilliant. Now then, I'm just about to go to questions from the investors, from the audience, and I'm looking down further and on your website, and this is another very interesting sector. Of course, it's medical and healthcare, another good sector right now. I see big things in the S&P 500. My Johnson & Johnson's going to do well, and pharmaceuticals and medical healthcare, very big sector. What's your role in this? What do you bring to the table?
Well, we've again, when you look at these applications, and you go back to what I talked about earlier, electromagnetic interference, you really can't afford to have any of that in this high-level medical equipment, right? You really need to minimize that to every extent. So we are seeing expansion of our medical business because of the need to have no electromagnetic interference. Now, admittedly, the company we acquired, the EMI Solutions, the business that does those filtered connectors, admittedly, they did not spend a lot of time focusing on the medical market. They were primarily focused on the military market with some business in the medical. So we're putting more of an emphasis on targeting the medical customers through our relationships with the sales channels, and try and get that exposure to increase. Again, if you just think about it logically, you can't have electromagnetic interference in medical equipment. It will really destroy the product capability. And on the wireless side, there are some very, very interesting opportunities that we're looking at, which are very early, but they really I can't get into too much detail, but it really has to do with detection of disease wirelessly. And that's very early stages, but it could be very, very groundbreaking if as we continue to work on that.
Great, thank you. I know this interview's going well when we're asking the right questions and you go right up to the point of going, I just can't quite tell you that. I like that. That means we've gone right to the edge of where we can go with it. I like it. That's what the audience want. That's what they tune in for.
I want to say it, but I can't.
No, I understand that. I totally understand it. And intelligent investors that understand the rules get that as well. But it's good to take you to the edge. That's what my job is, right? Okay. Yeah. I'm going to go to the comments now in the chat, and you can now put your comments directly to Phil, and some things he'll be able to answer and some things he won't. So we've got Matthew here who says, thank you. I'm just going to drop it down very slightly just so we don't cover as much of Phil's face as possible. Thank you for your time, Philip. That's very nice. One of your investors is here. Brian, hi all. Good afternoon, Kimberly. Good afternoon to you. Let's have a look. Vaz is a very important member of our team. He actually focuses on EVTOLs, and he's very aware of the aerospace sector. BAE, the manufacturer of Eurofighter Typhoon. Is that correct? That's right, isn't it?
I'm assuming that's correct.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. If Vaz says so, it must be true. Okay, Eddie is one of your investors. What is the expected growth in the next 5 years? Difficult question, but I'm going to put it to you. See how you get on with that one.
Wow, I'm not sure.
This is how it goes, mate.
On that, I think it really. It's hard to project that because as we grow that scale that I mentioned earlier, the opportunities for M&A are going to change from what they are today, right? Because we'll be a bigger company with bigger scale, and that will offer us more opportunities, and even opportunities to acquire companies that can double our size. That's a possibility, but once you need the scale to do that, right? And so the opportunities over the next 5 years are limitless.
Got a comment here from G Rams, and he says, seems like they have a lot of loss from operations. Well, that's normal. It's what you'd expect from a new startup, mergers and acquisitions. You're investing, you're spending money. You're not just making money right out of the gate. So I will share the comment. And Phil, you might like to add your remarks to that one.
Yeah, that's typical for a startup to experience net loss as you work through the development of your products and the introduction of your products to the market. That's why I emphasize my experience in managing profit and loss statements, because I think we need to be very, very aware of that. But again, as you look at the growth through M&A, and if those acquisitions are accretive, then we will be reducing our losses just by doing those acquisitions and adding to our profitability. So, our goal is to get to break even as quickly as possible, and we're going to do it both organically and through acquisition.
Great.
So,
I think that answers this question, Derek. Looking at the P&L sheets, how do you think you can achieve profitability, and in what realistic time frame? I think Phil has answered that. If you agree, yeah. Eddie JP, I really like their site. Good, positive news. I really like the business as well. Yestin, one of our investors, likes the business. Where does Phil see the company in the next 5 years and their position on the market? I think we've already answered that one. What is currently the employee numbers? I believe it's 50, isn't it? 50 employees?
Yeah, it's just above 50.
Just above 50, yeah. Great job, said Zach Zeit, one of our large investors in the aerospace. And he said, thank you, Phil. Great job. Let me have a look. Does the NASDAQ warning about delisting worry you about the penny stock? Now, that's what people are talking about, and Phil, is on the app on Robinhood, where a lot of retail investors like me sit. We see a big exclamation mark at the top, and that says they've failed to comply with NASDAQ rules, and people get worried about delisting and all the rest of it. I know it's a very difficult question, but I wouldn't be doing my job unless I asked it. Are you concerned about that? The way it was put to you was, does the NASDAQ warning about delisting worry you about being a penny stock and being delisted? What's your thoughts on that?
Obviously, it's a good question, and obviously we are concerned. But concerned is we're confident we have a plan that will fix that issue, and I think we're on our way to fixing that the last few days here, right? So we have a plan, and we think that as we continue to roll out our plan on beyond what we've been able to talk about, I think we'll get investors to see our vision a little bit more clearly.
Is there anything specific you can give me on that? What plan that might be to keep the stock above the limit?
Well, I think a couple of things. It's our ability to continue to show what our M&A strategy is, right? And we have a roadmap there.
I have said to you today, because you can see how that question, you can see how the investors reacted to that. Just as we said that, it dropped slightly. You can see that there. But what I want to do is, I said to Phil at the beginning of this interview when we're off air, I've given Phil my direct number, my cell phone. He now has it, and every day and every week there will be things happening at the business, things that we can celebrate and share and talk about. And I've said to Phil, he can text me and say, Martyn, we've just done this has just happened, and I can put it out to the world, because I'd love to see this business do well. I think it deserves to, and it needs some good news right now for the investors to get everybody excited, and I will certainly share that. So everyone watching this right now, know that Phil has my number, and wherever he can, he will share information that's of course publicly available, and I will put it out in front of you as quickly as possible, so you will be kept up to date with the very latest directly from the business itself. I will stress again, what's publicly available. You're not getting inside information. Let's have a look. Have I got any more? I'm still Money Making Mitch. I'm holding, I'm not going to say how many shares, but you are holding a large position. My question is, what is the biggest risk to the business over the next 3 to 5 years, and how are you preparing for it? So what would you regard as the biggest risk to your business?
The biggest risk, it's really it's hard to look out 3 to 5 years and say what the biggest risk is. Again, I think the biggest risk is our inability to develop technology at the speed that the market requires, number one. And the other risk is if we make acquisitions and don't integrate them properly, it would be that would be a negative. So I think the ability to develop technology organically and the ability to integrate acquisitions.
And I know you can do that. We all know you can do that because we followed the business for years and we know the people that work there. We know your history. We know where you've come from. We know how successful you've been in the past. So from what I learned from Fabian last time is the pedigree of the team and the board and everyone concerned comes with wealth of experience. So you have the team to deliver this, don't you?
Yes. The Microsemi company, we did multiple acquisitions. I don't remember the exact number, but it was greater than 30 over a 10 to 15 year period. So we really historically have good pedigree on how to do that, and I think that's an important part of the process when you go look at companies to acquire. Is you try and understand the complexity with integrating them before you go and make an offer, right? So a lot of that is on the front end when you're making the decisions on who you want to acquire. Is can we integrate this company and how would it fit into our existing business? That's how you improve your ability to do that.
Thank you. Good question. This one comes from Matthew. Who are the main competitors for Mobix Labs? Got to know who your competitors are, right?
Yeah, on the connector side, there's companies such as Amphenol and Carlisle, and they really they're very large companies, and they're very good at what they do. But I think as I said earlier, on our connector side of the business, we think we have the shortest lead time and a differentiation by being able to support customers with quick turnaround. And sometimes big companies get caught up in their ability to turn around opportunities and get the customers the answer they're looking for. On the wireless side, currently, really, it's really hard to pinpoint our competitors on the system side of the business. We develop wireless systems as well as we have a chip business that we're developing. On the system side of the business, really, we compete against other design houses, but our expertise in understanding RF and wireless communications really, I think, differentiates us from the competitors. But there's not one or two competitors you can name there. It's a very convoluted set of
Makes sense. Yeah. Right. Final question. This is a tough one. And this is a question that can make a difference to a retail investor. They're watching it closely. I can see that. The question is, can Mobix Labs sustain its rapid growth without facing cash flow issues, given its startup status and high operational costs? And I know the retail investors listening for the answer to that one.
Well, the answer to that is, we've had cash flow challenges as a startup, right? So that's nothing new to us. We've been able to drive that growth with those challenges. We've been able to continue to come up with the ability to support the business and grow it. We do have access to more capital, which we've discussed publicly in the past, through a line of credit that's going to be coming available to us very soon, which will allow us to continue to make acquisitions as well as support the working capital requirements for the business. And that will be available to us very shortly, in a matter of weeks.
So
that's been announced in the past. We have a $100 million line of credit that is going to be available to us.
Okay, well, that speaks volumes then. So the answer would be yes, you have the funding to continue the growth and acceleration. Okay, very, very good point, Saab. I hope you liked the answer there. Well, I think we've covered, this is great. You're getting some really good feedback here. You'll be very pleased to know that people are very receptive to your performance today. Because the CEO, at the end of the day, you represent the company. You're not the man sitting there, the little geeky man, the scientist with a soldering iron. You may well be as well, but you have to sell it. As you know, in sales, you have to come on the show and sell it to people because they're buying you. And if they believe in you and like you and trust you, it kind of helps a lot.
Yeah.
We've had it go the other way, I can tell you. Good interview, and Mike says honest answers. Absolutely. And Phil, you will confirm this was unedited. There was no script. We didn't discuss any questions. You've taken all the questions on the chin. I've tried to push you to the edge, and I've challenged you, and I think you've delivered and done a great performance, represented your company very well. It's lovely to have you on the show. Eddie JP says, thank you for being transparent and interactive. Thank you so much. Honest answers. Hey, Phil, you've done well. You can go back and you can celebrate with a cup of tea. You might be a beer man, but me, I'd prefer to have a cup of tea, quite honestly. Phil, I'm going to wrap this up, but I'd like you to have the final say before I end the stream. Talk directly to your investors. What is it you'd like to leave them with?
Well, I think the most important thing is what we're going through is not unusual. Startups and in this space, because it's very competitive, don't always come out of the box and kill it from a stock point of view. Sometimes it takes time. As an example, Microsemi, it took many years for Microsemi, more than 5 years, to get above a $2 mark, and we ended up. The company got acquired at close to $70 a share, right? So trust us, have some patience. We have a plan, and we think we're going to be successful.
That's absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much indeed. What we're going to do now is we're going to send everyone to our extra channel where the conversation continues, and they share their thoughts. They discuss how it went. They talk to me and say what they thought of me. Did I ask the right question? So I get as much of the grilling as you do, mate. I'll tell you that for nothing. But I'll just leave you with this, Phil. You have my personal number. You can text me literally live on the show. I've got my phone right at the side of me here all the time. Literally, I've called up. In fact, I called up Fabian live on the show during an earnings call, and they got me on the call. I was actually on the earnings call. Remember that? There was a disconnection, and I went, "Oi, pick up the phone. What's going on?" They had a phone issue, and they did. They picked up the phone, and we were live on air. So you can call me, text me live in the show. My number's here, and look at that, Phil. Just like I predicted, if that answer was good, that happened.
Like the green. I like the green.
Yeah, we like the green as well. I'll tell you what, I'll make the studio green in celebration. I knew that would happen if that answer was good, and it was. I literally committed myself. I knew that was going to happen, and it did. Congratulations, guys. So thank you for all being here. To my audience, I'm going to send you now to the extra channel where we can continue to discuss this, discuss my performance, discuss Phil's performance. Phil, call me whenever you want. Text me. I've got some great news. Would love to share it. You can just drop me a text, and I'll put it out as a quick short. Or if you ever want to do one of these again, let me know. And if you ever want to do if you want me on the earnings call asking questions where we can broadcast the earnings, I will happily take part in that.
That's great. Outstanding. I'll be in touch, Martin. Thanks very much for giving me the chance to do this, okay?
Good luck, and welcome as the new CEO. We're proud of you. Do a good job. Make all my investors rich. We love it.
You're right.
Take care. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Martin.
There's Phil. What a great interview. It was a real pleasure having him on the show. I think we got a lot out of that. I think everybody was happy. Lovely to see the stock price rally at the end there. Of course, I think he did a great job. He delivered well for the company. Everyone asked great questions, and you all did a tremendous job. So thank you very much. I'm now going to hand you over to the extra channel. Phil is in the green room at the moment. I might come back and just say goodbye to him off air in a second if he stays there. If not, that's fine. Guys, I love you all to bits. I will see you back in 1 hour. It's the Google and another earnings. We're doing 2 earnings at the same time. Pretty mental, right? 2 live earnings at the same time. just tune in to see how we do it. That's it from me. Please like, share this. Look out for all the reposts and all the tweets and all the highlights on X later on. But now I'm going to hand you over to the extra channel. I will see you back in a bit. Until next time, until the next Meet the CEO, take care of yourselves and each other.